tap coming your way in 1 minute.
Read any good news?
The last week, but now he's back on the sidelines and Jerry ready to go.
Well, we're glad he's here because I think that Commissioner Olson did the right thing, John. It wasn't that big a thing, but nonetheless, you had to pay attention to it.
Opening tap coming now. Ray McKenzie against Mark Harvey. Harvey an inch taller at 6'5". McKenzie taps the ball, but it goes to Poole. The Huskies get it. We're into the front court and underway. Here's Stuart Kramer. Goes to the hole and hits the jumper.
Stuart gets his first start, and he does a nice job with it.
Kramer with that short-range jump shot to put the Huskies up 2-0. Here come the Bison now into the front court. On the right side is Tom Fody. He's the junior guard out of Wisconsin. They're off guard. Passes off now out on top to Arsdorf. He's been starting at center for the past 3 weeks or so. Now to Adams, the point guard. Back to Arsdorf in the right corner, and then back out to Tony Adams, who started his collegiate career at Alcorn State and then transferred to NDSU. Adams goes to the free throw line, loses the ball. Comes right to Griffin. Now to McKenzie. Right side jumper. Might have been partially blocked. It's an air ball. Harvey might have got a piece of that one. Loose ball came to Harvey. Ahead now to Thurston. And then his trigger pass further down into the front court. Gets away from Harvey. Goes out of bounds. Turnover, St. Cloud State.
We'd like to mention that the key matchup tonight is Harvey on McKenzie.
Just underway from Hallenbeck Hall. 2-0 St. Cloud State. Here's Adams down the lane on the nice penetration move. Missed the layup. Rebound Thurston. Outlet pass is behind Kramer. He has to wait for it in the front court. Now to Rudolph, left corner. Bounce pass intended for Harvey underneath. Knocked out of bounds by a hustling Ray McKenzie. So the Huskies will pass it in their front court. SCSU women won tonight, 78-74. Big win for them. The men leading 2-0. Here's the pass in. Harvey, left baseline jumper, hits the side of the backboard, but it was partially blocked, so it'll stay with St. Cloud State. And it'll be passed in again by Orion Thurston. Left of his basket on the baseline. Loops it out on top to Binky Poole, who one-hands it. Hands it off for OT now. NDSU starting out in the man-for-man. Thurston out on top, guarded by Adams. Dribbles to his left to Kramer. Left baseline goes down the line, puts it up and off, but he did draw the foul from McKenzie. Game's first foul.
Yeah, and that's a big foul. If they get McKenzie in foul trouble, that's going to hurt the Bison. Kramer did show very good quickness on that drive from the left side.
In addition to the Huskies win Tuesday against South Dakota in overtime, 95-92, Mankato State beat Morningside 85-71. And that win for the Mavericks put them into sole possession of first place in the NCC coming into tonight at 6-3. Free throw by Kramer, no good. He's got one more coming. The Bison are 5-3 in conference, as are North Dakota. They're playing at Mankato State tonight. That's the game of the night in the NCC. And there's 3 clubs at 5-4. South Dakota, Nebraska, Omaha, and Northern Colorado. Augustana is 4-4. Second free throw good by Kramer. It's 3-0 now, St. Cloud State. Backcourt pressure by the Huskies. Adams breaks it on the dribble ahead, dumps it off, front court, and he banks it in from the right side.
Perhaps the defensive lapse on that play.
3-2 Huskies as they push it ahead quickly now with OT. Orion Thurston, who had that game-winning shot on Tuesday. He's got it on the right side on his dribble. Top of the key to Kramer. Looks in. As the ball above his head now goes to the dribble along the half-moon line to his left. Had it knocked away. Or did he? No, he did not. As reaching in, going after the ball was Griffin. After Kramer had stopped his dribble, looked like he might have gotten a hand on it to knock it away. But then Kramer went back to the dribble after he had stopped, and he was called for the double B. Turnover, St. Cloud State. The Bison get it back with a chance to take their first lead. Into the front court comes Tom Fody. Dribbles to the left, dumps it off with 18 minutes left in the half to Adams. To the top of the circle plus to Jeff Griffin. He's out of Milwaukee. The 6'4 forward. Hands it off behind him now to Adams. On the right wing to Arsdorf, who comes out to get it. Adams has it right wing, dribbles, dumps it off. Right block, Arsdorf tries to jump hook. It was blocked by Rudolph. Loose ball came to Harvey, not a Thurston. In the front court to Poole. Rifles it underneath Kramer. Nothing there, so he brings it back out. Harvey, three, maybe. Yes! Nice shot. He was wide open, had plenty of time to shoot. 6-2, St. Cloud State as the Bison push it ahead. Fody in traffic, brings it out. Griffin shoots the three. That's long off the rim, but the rebound comes into the right corner. It's chased down by McKenzie. So NDSU will get a new 45 on the shot clock. The Bison with it now with Griffin on the right wing. McKenzie comes out to get it at the top of the circle. Adams, right wing again. Down low to Griffin, back out. Adams goes inside the lane, shoots from just inside the free throw line, comes out of there. The Bison tried for a tap-up, but the loose ball came to Rudolph. To Thurston. Ahead, Kramer. Reverse layup, and he missed it. Kramer came in from the left side, elected to go underneath the basket and try the reverse with the right hand, but it wouldn't go down. Now the Bison have it. Griffin shoots from 18. That's in and out. Oh, good. 3 times off the rim. Loose ball. McKenzie had it for a moment, but he has it stolen away from down near his feet by Thurston. Jerry, there are advantages to being 5'10".
Well, that's what they have to do. They have to tie up McKenzie so they can't break.
Huskies bring it back the other way. Ortiz dumps it off in the baseline. Kramer bounce pass back out to Harvey on the low right wing. He goes with the left-hand dribble. Works off Rudolph pick. Dumps it off. Right block. Here's Kramer. He takes it.
So far, it's very early in the game, but you have to like Kramer.
He's getting more active in the offense.
Yeah.
8-2, St. Cloud State. Arsdorf in the front court now for the Bison. Passes out to Fody on the right wing. He's guarded by Poole. The Huskies have also started out initially in a man. Rudolph has the steal. Gets it ahead for Thurston. His pass deflected right back to him. Now Poole, front court. Three-pointer comes out of there. No good. Here's the rebound to Adams, and he bursts out the other way for NDSU. Gets it.
Not often you see a ball player miss a dunk, but McKenzie missed that one.
Now North Dakota State will make 2 substitutions. Wayne Jensen, a 6'9" junior center out of Milwaukee, will come in for Arsdorf. And Adams will come out. He'll sit down. And replacing him will be Bart Iniger, the son of Coach Irv Iniger. Bart is the 6'3" sophomore out of Fargo. He'll play the point. Huskies coming to the front court now with Orion Thurston. Out on the right side on his dribble. Passes off to Rudolph between the 2 circles. He's guarded by McKenzie. Now on the right wing side, OT puts it up and missed the bank shot. No good from the right side. Came out of there, and Jensen clears the board for NDSU. Wayne Jensen had been a starter for every game for the Bison until their conference opener against St. Cloud State when Arsdorf started at center. And he has been the starter since then, but Jensen in now at center. Top of the circle plus is Fody. He'll back off on his dribble. Watched closely by Poole. Dumps it off left corner to Griffin. Back out to Bart Iniger on the left wing to Griffin. He thought about the three-pointer, but doesn't take it. Instead, passes to Jensen in the lane. The jump hook is good. Wayne Jensen. And here's a steal by North Dakota State. The Huskies get careless with it in the backcourt.
And give Iniger credit for the steal.
So 5 quick points for NDSU draws them to within 1. It's 8-7, St. Cloud State. 14:40 left in our opening half. Poole in the front court for the Huskies. Way down on the right wing. Passes in. Harvey open. Puts it up with one hand. No good. Gathers in his own rebound in the lane and is fouled. Second foul of the ball game, both on North Dakota State. I believe it'll be on Jensen.
Yes, it is. It's Jensen.
Now the Bison will bring in 2 more fresh bodies. Checking in is Matt Nelson, the 6'7" junior out of Staples, and Mike Hilley, who was out of Fergus Falls. He's a 6'4" junior forward. McKenzie and Griffin will sit down, so 2 new forwards into the ballgame for Irv Iniger.
Now the people in this area know Mike Hilley from Fergus Falls. He played against Apollo, against St. Cloud Tech. He is an excellent shooter.
Into the ball game for St. Cloud State, their first substitution of the night. Scott Springer, the 6'4 redshirt freshman out of Winthrop. And he is replacing Kramer. Pass in from the baseline. Front court for St. Cloud State. Poole has it right corner. Guarded by Fody. Takes a dribble, shoots from 19. That comes out of there, no good. Rebound Fody. And as he pulled down the board, it had hit the top of the backboard, so they ruled it out of play. By the way, our officials making those rulings tonight, Mike Cadwell out of Sioux City, Iowa. The referee, the umpire, Mike Brady from Des Moines, Iowa. Backcourt pressure by the Huskies. Inniger loses the ball out of bounds, but they say it was touched by Thurston.
The Huskies are in a tenacious man-to-man.
Here's that backcourt pass in again. Fody has it. He runs by Poole into the front court. Passes off. Nelson shoots the three. Cuts off the front rim. No good. And Thurston goes high for the rebound for the Huskies. And he'll bring it ahead himself. Thurston on a sprint down the lane. Dumps it off. Poole. Three. Maybe. Rims out. No good. Tapped up by Harvey. That comes out. Now Rudolph has the board. He'll bring it out. Harvey has it on the wing. He was under pressure, so he did not shoot. Instead, he leaves it for Poole. Now to Thurston out top. The Huskies will begin the offense once again. OT almost had it knocked away by Inniger. Huskies up by one and with the basketball. Thurston, top of the circle plus. Bounce pass to Springer on the left wing. He's guarded closely by Hilly. Springer tried to dump it to the baseline, but it was intercepted by Fody. He cut right in front of Poole. Now Inniger back the other way to Fody. Shoots a running three-pointer. Swish. Also, that's two.
His toes were touching the line.
5 points for Fody, and the Bison have their first lead of the ballgame as they've scored 7 consecutive points, and they're on top 9-8. Poole, bounce pass, takes it on the baseline, brings it through the lane. Here's Springer, fakes the shot, goes into the lane, has it blocked out of bounds. Springer hits the floor hard as Nelson got a hand on that ball, and the force of that block puts Springer onto the hardwood. Poole comes out now for the Huskies, and Tim Rennie, the 6'4", sophomore guard out of Blaine, checks in. Pass in from the baseline. Harvey fires away from three-point range. That's off the back rim. Scramble for the rebound. And it looks like it'll stay with the Huskies as Bart Inniger last touched it. Right in front of his dad, who was pacing on the NDSU sideline. Pass in, sideline left for the Huskies by Springer. Gets it in now for Harvey on the wing. Hands it off to Thurston, who cuts to the baseline, puts it up off balance, no good, gets his own rebound, takes it in, count it, and he was fouled.
Into a drought, a big basket for the Huskies.
Well, you talk about a guy, Jerry, who plays much bigger than his size, and it's due to his athletic ability. That's Orion Thurston.
He really does. He really does. He also is a good defensive ball player.
Thurston had 7 rebounds in the win over South Dakota the other night, and he's already had a couple of nice sky-type rebounds. That time he got underneath, made an excellent move, drew the foul from Inniger. The basket counts. First points for OT and a chance for the three-point play. Free throw is off the back rim, no good. Well, you don't see that often. That was missed number 9 in 64 attempts this year for Thurston. Bison bring it back the other way. They're down by 1. Pass in now. Here's Jensen in the lane. Clears it out. Nelson shoots a 3. Short of the rim. No good. And another rebound to Thurston. This one a long rebound, and he just happened to be in the right spot. OT in the front court with 12:40 left first half. 10-9 Huskies. Shovels it with the right hand to Springer. Low right wing. He looks in. Dumps it off the free throw line. Rudolph back to Springer. Right corner. Goes down the baseline. Double team. Gets it in the lane for Harvey. Now it's Carlson rather, and he is fouled from behind. Mark Carlson, who had just checked in for Harvey, got the nice pass off the penetration and a foul call.
The foul is on Matt Nelson.
Number 1 on Nelson. 14 foul against the Bison. The Huskies have yet to commit a foul. Carlson, as we mentioned, had come into the ballgame. He'll shoot free throws now. He's the 6'7" freshman from Fort Dodge, Iowa, who entering this game is averaging about 7 points per game, 7.5 or so. Free throw by Marcus Gill. And Craig Kluge has also come in now for St. Cloud State. He's the 6-foot sophomore guard from Edina by way of Division I Wyoming University. He replaces Thurston at the point. Second free throw by Carlson is short. And the rebound to McKenzie, who's checked back in for NDSU, as has Adams, who brings it ahead. Adams goes all the way down the lane, puts it up and in. Another driving layup.
He beat Kluge on a drive, and nobody stood in to take the hit, to take the offensive charge.
We're deadlocked at 11 now as Kluge brings it ahead into the front court for SCSU. Dumps it off. Springer on the left wing goes to the baseline, puts it up and in. Springer's first 2, and the Huskies go out on top, 13-11. Now NDSU back the other way. Out on the right wing side is Adams. Tries to get by Kluge. Instead shovels it to Inniger at the top of the circle. To Nelson. Left wing back to Inniger on top. Now into McKenzie. Sets himself up. Leans in and banks it in as McKenzie worked his way around Carlson.
That was a very athletic move. Much like Tony King.
McKenzie's first basket, and we're deadlocked now at 13. Huskies in the front court. Kluge has it knocked away and out of bounds, but it'll stay with the Huskies. Early shooting figures, St. Cloud State unofficially 5 of 15 from the field. The Bison 6 of 14 so far in field goal attempts. Now Arsdorf comes back in. Jensen leaves. Hilly comes out of the ball game. And Griffin is back in. Here's the attempted pass into Remy, but it was knocked away by Fody out of bounds, so the Huskies will try it again. 11:34 left first half. 13 all, the Huskies and the Bison. Springer going to try to get this one in. Finally does to Remy, who bobbles it, shovels it off to Rudall on the right baseline, and he's called for double dribble. As Rudall was following the ball, and as he did so, he was actually putting it down on the floor and was called for the turnover.
That was unfortunate because the Huskies had a 2-on-1.
The Thundering Herd coming back the other way now. North Dakota State trying to go back out on top. Adams penetrates and draws the foul. Tony Adams so far in this ballgame has shown much more of a tendency to penetrate than he has the last couple of games he has played against St. Cloud State. It looks like he's trying to be more of an offensive force, and he has the talent to do so. That's the first foul of the game on the Huskies. It's against Kluge. Team fouls 4-1. North Dakota State passes in. Open on the baseline, Fody. Instead, he dribbles into the lane, then leans in and hits the 6-footer. Fody shooting over Kluge. Fody now has 7. The Bison lead 15-13. Kluge into the front court. Left side perimeter on his dribble. Waiting for the offense to set. Gets it off. Remy shoots from the left corner. No good. Rebound. Rudolph muscles it back up and missed it. And then Arsdorf cleared the board. That was a great offensive rebound by Rudolph, but the shot would not go down. Now Adams penetrates. Had it stolen away. Rudolph comes up with a loose ball. Gets it to Kluge. He lost it to Fody. And then Kluge is called for the foul as those two went to the floor in a wrestling match. So that's going to do it, I would believe, for Thurston's breather on the bench. He'll come back in with 10:50 to go in the half as Kluge, the recipient of 2 early fouls, will come out probably for the remainder of this half. We'll have a mid-court pass in just inside the timeline in their front court for North Dakota State. They're up by 2. With the basketball out on top now is Fody. Dishes on the right wing side to Griffin. Top of the circle to Inniger. Bounce pass in the lane intended for Griffin, and he was bumped from behind by Springer. The Huskies' 3rd foul. St. Cloud State basketball coming your way on WJON St. Cloud, AM 1240. Along with Jerry Voss, I'm John Schroeder. Back at our studios doing the technical work for us tonight is Janine Zieser. 15-13, North Dakota State. Pass in front court for the Bison. Fody open for the 3. Right corner, swish. Fody is starting out red hot. He shoots 44% from the field, and now the Huskies lose it. Back the other way as they try to work it in underneath. They lose the ball, and the Bison get it back, leading by 5.
Troy Rudolph now is defensively on McKenzie.
As the Bison bring it back. Inniger has it up top. Passes to the baseline. Fody shoots, and it's blocked by Remy. And the loose ball recovered by Thurston. The Huskies start ahead 2-on-2 up the right side. OT dumps it off. Carlson works in. His shot is blocked, but the follow-up is good by Remy.
Nice effort by Remy.
Doing it at both ends of the court. Tim Remy with his first 2. It's 18-15 NDSU. Bounce pass to Arsdorf. Down low on the right side. Brings it back out. Top of the circle to Fody. On the left wing to Inniger. Bounce pass in. Intended for McKenzie. Knocked away by Rudolph. Inniger gets it back to McKenzie. Goes down the baseline and hits her against the rim.
That was an easy 2 because Rudolph left them.
20-15 North Dakota State as the Bison now with their second 5-point lead. We were talking about Fody a moment ago. He started out quickly with 10 points, 2 3-pointers. Shooting 44% from the field, about 40% from 3-point range. The Huskies with it in the front court now as Springer clears it out. Remy open for the 3. That comes out of there, no good. And the loose ball rebound comes to the side, recovered by Inniger, who starts ahead 3-on-4 for the Bison. Dumps it off. Fody shoots the running jumper, left baseline off the back rim. McKenzie gathers in a great offensive board, clears it off. Griffin shoots for 3. That's long, and the rebound comes to Carlson for the Huskies. And now St. Cloud State back the other way as the tempo of this game continues high. Rudolph shoots, right corner, that comes out, oh good. And the board is cleared there by McKenzie. Jerry, if they keep up this pace, we're going to have a couple of fatigued basketball teams.
Yeah, they're moving quickly. The Huskies are not shooting well.
On the left side, with it is Fody. Now to Iniger, lobs down low, right baseline. McKenzie's turnaround six-footer won't go, gets his own rebound, puts it up short on the rim, gets it again, tries again, and again it comes out of there. And the loose ball recovered by Thurston. McKenzie's shooting figures are going to go down with that effort. Now OT brings it ahead, has it slapped at by Iniger, keeps the dribble, gets it, and he lays it in.
There's a lot of contact on both ends of the court, and the fans are waiting for things to be called, but nothing's being called.
Yeah, they're letting them play. Yeah, 20-17, North Dakota State, 8:10 left first half. Now Fody stands out beyond the top of the circle, holding up a fist to set the NDSU offense. Now he dribbles to the free throw line, into the lane, stops, brings it out to Iniger. Left wing now, here's Griffin. Goes between the legs on the dribble. Back out, Fody, a 21-footer. That's off the front rim, and the glass is cleared there by Rudolph. His outlet comes to Thurston. He spots ahead now into the front court. OT slices through the lane on the dribble. Almost has it stolen away by Iniger, out of bounds. Last touch by Bart Iniger. Now the Huskies will bring Kramer, Poole, and Harvey back into the ballgame. NDSU substitutes with Nelson, Jensen, and also Tony Adams back in. And now NDSU will also bring a fourth player into the ballgame. Mike Hilly checks back in. So the only one of the players for North Dakota State that was on the court a moment ago, Bart Iniger, he's the only guy to remain in there. 4 different players in for NDSU, a total of 7 players in on that timeout. 7:40 to go as the Huskies now out on top with Thurston. To Harvey on the right wing, almost had it stolen away by Jensen. Got it back for a moment, and Jensen gets it back off Iniger's steal. Jensen spins it up and off on the layup. Iniger gets the rebound and banks it in. First 2 points of the night for Bart Iniger, and a timeout is called by St. Cloud State. 7:21 left in our first half. North Dakota State 22, St. Cloud State 17. You're listening to St. Cloud State Husky basketball. He's 7 of 23 from the field. The Bison so far 10 of 25.
That's not good, John, but there's another factor. Both clubs are excellent defensive ball clubs. This makes a difference.
7:10 left, first half. The Huskies trail 22-17. They've got it in the front court as NDSU shifts to the zone defense now.
Yep, 2-3 zone.
And we've got a matchup on Poole as Adams is a chaser. Harvey shoots an air ball left side on the three-point attempt. Remy clears the board. Bounce pass out. Rudolph open for 15.
They have a box and one with a man on Poole.
22-19 of the Herd back into the front court. Loud pass in. Turnaround jumper from the right side. Comes off the edge of the backboard. Rudolph clears the board. Falling to the floor. Gets it off for Harvey. Now to Thurston. Lobs it into the front court. It's run down in the right corner by Poole. Out to Rudolph. On the left baseline. Springer penetrates and draws the foul. That last shot for North Dakota State was taken by pure freshman center Jason Wenschlag. He's a 6'10 center out of Minneapolis Roosevelt. He's one of the highly recruited players in Minnesota last year. And he's beginning to see more playing time now for NDSU. That follows on Matt Nelson, his second. 15 foul against the Bison. Pass in, Rudolph shoots. Left side, that's good.
And Rudolph was almost in 3-point range.
4 straight for the Huskies. 22-21, North Dakota State. Pushing it ahead now on his dribble is Tony Adams, the 6'2 senior. Dumps it off. Nelson shoots the 3. That's good. Right side, Nelson's first basket.
That is a nice-looking shot.
He hurt the Huskies with 3-pointers up at Fargo in the conference opener. Rudolph back the other way. Off balance, shoots from the left baseline. Won't go down, and Harvey is called for the foul, pushing off. Fourth foul on St. Cloud State, number 1 of the night. The bench. Matt Nelson came in to score 17 points on 5 3-pointers. He led the Bison in scoring in that 64-61 St. Cloud State win. 25-21 our score. North Dakota State on top. 5:55 left first half. Adams left side, guarded by Thurston. Adams goes to the lane, passes cross court. Nelson, he battles for a loose ball with Kramer and gets it back. Does Nelson. Gets it to Wenschlag, then back out on top to Adams. Out of Matt Nelson. Back to Adams. Whistle and a foul away from the play on Rudolph as he jostled with Wenschlag for position. Number 1 on Rudy. 5 team fouls, St. Cloud State. In fact, the team fouls 5 aside. Talking about the shooting problems of these teams. Coming into the week, NDSU 7th in the conference in field goal shooting percentage, 45%. The Huskies dead last, 10th in the conference from the field, 42%. So they're both not where they would like to be. Adams now has the ball off the pass in. Dumps it off. Hilly almost lost it. Now shoots from the free throw line. Rims out. No good. Loose ball on the rebound. Goes out of bounds. And it went off of Jensen. So the Huskies will get it.
Now Hilly is an excellent shooter, and I'm surprised he's not putting him down for the Bison. But so far this season, he's not.
Hilly averaging only about 5 points per game and primarily in a reserve role. Huskies have it in the front court. Thurston's pass is knocked away and recovered by Adams, who starts down one-on-one against OT on the fast break, and Thurston reaches in and gets the foul.
Now the Huskies guard play is just a little bit sloppy, and they're turning the ball over occasionally. And the Bison are taking advantage of that with the fast break.
Sixth foul now on St. Cloud State, but it was a shooting foul.
In fact, the Huskies have 7 turnovers already.
At the free throw line is Adams. His free throw is no good. Short on the rim. 25-21 remains the score. Second free throw coming for Tony Adams, the senior guard. It's up and no good. He missed them both. And on the rebound, a foul is called against North Dakota State as Rudolph cleared the board for the Huskies. And he was muscled underneath. I believe Jensen. That'll be Jensen's sixth on the Bison. Backcourt pass in St. Cloud State. The Huskies down by 4, and they bring it ahead across the timeline. Orion Thurston going man-on-man against Adams as the Bison have gone back into the man. Poole shoots the 3, right side, way off the mark. A flat shot by Dickey. Wasn't even close. Now Adams penetrates on the fast break, gets it off to Jensen.
Jensen sliding in from the right side. Nice fast break by the Bison.
27-21 North Dakota State. 4:45 left first half. Rudolph's bounce pass out on the right side perimeter comes to Thurston. He goes to the baseline, has it blocked away from behind by Adams. Recovered by the Bison. Ahead now to Jensen. He has it slapped away on the fast break. The foul is called on Harvey for reaching in. Well, the Huskies are being out-quick right now, especially when it comes to hand quickness, Jerry. They're coming up with the steal.
And the strange thing is, our guards are the ones that are breaking down. And you'd expect them not to turn the ball over, but they are.
17 foul on the Huskies. This will be a 2-shot foul. Harvey picking up his second foul. And Harvey now will be replaced by 6'7" freshman Greg Kesty, the Eden Prairie native. Kesty in for St. Cloud State. North Dakota State will bring in Arsdorf at center. He will spell Matt Nelson. And at the free throw line will be Wayne Jensen. He'll be shooting 2. Jensen out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Again, had been a starter for most of the season. The 5th leading scorer for the Bison this year. 8.6 points per game. 5 rebounds per contest. And that free throw's way off the mark. No good. The Bison shooting, Jerry, as a team, only 66% from the line.
That is not good at all.
Huskies a 73% free throw shooting team is St. Cloud State. Second free throw is good. Jensen makes 1 of 2. He's got 5 points. Now he will lead. And he's replaced by Ray McKenzie.
And the Bison are now 1 for 4 from the free throw line.
28-21, North Dakota State on top. 4:37 to go first half. Now the Bison come out with some zone pressure in the backcourt. Rudolph has it. Bounce pass ahead comes to Thurston. He's into the front court on his dribble. Dishes off to Poole on the right wing to Rudolph. Shoots from 16. That's off the front rim. And the board is cleared by Winschlag for NDSU. Gets it off for Cody, and he'll trot it ahead into the front court. And the Bison will have a half-court opportunity here to Arsdorf. Now to Cody, left wing. Back out to Adams, top of the circle. Fake the 3. Now goes to the dribble. To the left wing, to Winschlag in the lane. Had it knocked away by Rudolph. Loose ball recovered by Poole. Now to Thurston, into the front court. OT runs it up. Left side pass. Rudolph goes to the baseline, then tried to bring it back in the lane to Kesty. And the ball was loose and recovered by Adams. He goes coast to coast. Misses the layup. Hit the top of the backboard, and it'll go to the Huskies.
Yeah, you're right, John. Off the top of the backboard and off the clock. Huskies ball.
I'm not sure if that ball was blocked or not. That's not have been, because it would have gone to St. Cloud State had the official ruled that somebody got a hand in that ball before it was ruled out of play, hitting a part of the backboard that is not considered in play.
Once again, it's a 1-2-1-1 zone press by the Bison.
Pass into Poole along his own baseline. Cross-court bounce pass to Rudolph. Works it up now on the dribble. Then to Thurston across the timeline. Now to Stuart Kramer. Left baseline front court. Out to OT on the left wing. Shows shot. Doesn't take it. Dumps it off. Rudolph. Left baseline jumper. Count it. Rudy has 6 points. 28-23. North Dakota State with 3:30 left first half. Here's McKenzie. He's open and banks it in as he used the hit move to get around Rudolph.
Yeah, he needs help in there. When McKenzie gets the ball at low post, somebody has to trouble.
30-23 NDSU, up by 7. Thurston, front court, passes off. Rudolph, right side perimeter to Keski. Open, shoots from 15 and converts. Greg Keski off the bench to contribute offensively, his first 2. That makes it a 30-25 Bison lead. And now NDSU loses it as Griffin came into the front court. It didn't seem like he knew what he wanted to do, and the ball just got away from him, and they ruled that Griffin was the last guy to touch it. So with 3 minutes left in our first half, the Huskies down by 5. They have possession. Ryan Thurston, the Key West, Florida native, brings it ahead on his dribble. Works to the right side. He's guarded by Iniger, who's checked back in. Now to Kramer. To Keski at the high post. Underneath, Poole banks it in.
Now that was a nice basket because it came off the offense. There was no individual play. It was beautifully set up by the offense.
And that's the first 2 points for the Huskies' leading scorer, Pinky Poole. 4 straight for St. Cloud State. 30-27 Bison. Arsdorf has it. To Griffin, right wing to the point. Now they work it around to the left wing side. Fody dribbles to the baseline, then one hands it back out. Now to Griffin, right wing, tried to get it underneath from McKenzie, but deflected away and out of bounds by Keski.
If the Huskies settle down and run their offense and score off the offense, they'll stay with this team.
Pass in now from underneath. Griffin gets to Fody. He was double teamed on the baseline, so he brings it back out. To Griffin, right wing, to Iniger at the free throw line. Arsdorf goes down the lane, has it knocked away from the block underneath by Keski, and the loose ball comes to Fody. Now Fody gets it back out to Iniger. He tried to get it underneath to McKenzie. It was deflected, but then Ray touched it. Out of bounds, turnover, North Dakota State.
The Huskies' defense is excellent.
Well, they had a double block on that last play by Arsdorf. I believe it was Poole who reached in, knocked it away. And then Keski gets credit for the actual block shot. Huskies down by 3. They're back the other way. Poole, right side perimeter to Keski. Open, shoots from 16 and hits it.
And now here's this young man shooting from the outside. He's supposed to be a post player.
6 straight for St. Cloud State. They're down by 1. 30-29 with a minute 40 left first half. Griffin has it. Lobs it cross court to the right wing. Now to Iniger, left wing side to Griffin. Back to Bart Iniger. Shoots from 20. That's way off the mark. No good. Battle for the rebound. Goes out of bounds. Then Ray McKenzie last touch for it as he went after that loose ball with Kramer. So the Huskies will get it back and a chance to take the lead. Now Rudolph will get a breather. Mark Carlson comes back in at a post.
Full court press by the Bison.
Backcourt passing. Keski looks to get it in. His bounce pass comes to Thurston. And now the Bison will back off, and O2 can front court it for the Huskies. He's across the timeline with a minute 25 left in our first half. Poole between the circles. Passes left on the perimeter to Thurston. Now to Carlson. High post, right side. Back to OT. Just outside the lane. Takes one dribble inside the lane. Dumps it off left baseline. Poole fakes 3 times. Takes a dribble. Fakes 2 more. Trying to get Fody up. Lost the ball. Partially blocked. Comes loose to Poole. Puts it up and banks it off. No good from the left block. Ken McKenzie clears the board for NDSU. Pinky was working against a guy. Fody was only 2 inches taller, but he tried the head and shoulders fake several times. Now Nelson shoots. Left side. 3-pointer. Won't go. Rebound is scored by Kramer for the Huskies. 45 seconds left in the half. St. Cloud State with a chance virtually at the final shot. Down by 1. 4 seconds less on the shot clock than on the game clock. The shot clock now has 30. Huskies in the front court. Poole on the right side. Bounce pass out. Tough pass, but handled cleanly by Thurston. Huskies with double high post. Just trying to run the clock down. 20 seconds left to shoot. 23 on the game clock now. Kramer dribbles to the right. Hands it off behind him to Poole. He'll dribble back outside. 10 on the shot clock. Thurston, top of the circle, dumps it off, left baseline. Carlson goes down the line, back out. OT shoots from 19. Close to a 3-pointer, well executed. Laid the basket with 6 seconds left. The Bison scored at the buzzer from half-court, but it's not really good. And the crowd back to its feet as the Huskies, who struggled for much of the first half, put on a late shot, scored the first half final 3 points. All right, back in Hallenbeck Hall, we are underway with second half play now. Pass in for North Dakota State off the alternate possession. The Huskies lead it as we enter second half action, 31-30. John Schroeder and Jerry Voss from Hallenbeck. NDSU works the ball around now into McKenzie. Back out Adams. Back to McKenzie. Turnaround six-footer from the paint. No good. Ray gets his own rebound, and the former Johnny puts it in.
He's good. He's very dominating. If he misses, you know he's going to get that rebound again.
So it's 32-31. First basket of the second half belongs to the Bison. They have the lead. St. Cloud State back the other way now. Mark Harvey out on top. He had 3 points. On a three-point jumper in the first half. That was the Huskies' first field goal. Thurston has it now. Backs off on his dribble. Both teams starting out with the man defensively here in the second half. Kramer, right corner, back out to OT now. He's guarded by Adams at the point. Back to Kramer, low right wing, back to Thurston. Now to Poole, left side perimeter, out beyond the top of the circle. To Harvey at the high post, just beyond the right high edge of the lane. Harvey spins towards the basket, goes to his dribble, shovels it up underhanded in a desperation move just to get rid of it, and missed it badly. Rebound to Griffin. The head now to Adams in the front court. Tony Adams brings it back out. Griffin, top of the circle, down the lane, dishes left. There's McKenzie, nothing there, so he takes a dribble to clear himself. To Griffin, out on top to Adams, back to Jeff Griffin, the Milwaukee native, 6'4" forward. Here's Tom Cody now, top of the circle. Back in the right wing, Adams. Both teams, by the way, back to their original starters. Griffin, Cody left side, into McKenzie, turnaround 8-footer, comes out of there. Rebound Griffin, he banks it in from the left side. First points of the night for Jeff Griffin. The first 4 points of the second half belong to the Bison. They lead 34-31. Bounce pass to the high post. Rudall in the front court. Dumps it off. Kramer, left wing. He'll penetrate. Stu puts it up on the move. Misses it. No good as he tried a hanging midair jumper. It comes out of bounds, but last touch by the Bison.
The defense that the Bison are playing is very sound. The Huskies are not getting easy shots. They're not getting good shots.
Reserves into the ballgame now for the Huskies. Greg Kesty in at center for Harvey. And Wayne Jensen will replace Mark Arsdorf at the post for the Bison. Pass into the baseline front court. Thurston to Rudolph. Back to OT. Shoots the three from the left corner. No good. And the long rebound is cleared by Adams. He'll move it ahead now and motor up court. Tony Adams penetrates down the lane. Tried to shovel it back out, and it's controlled. Almost lost on the sidelines by Griffin. Back to Adams. Bounce pass left baseline. Now back out on top. Cody has it. And he'll slow it up and start the offense for the Thundering Herd. Passes off left wing. Adams goes to the lane, dumps it off cross court through the lane, and they'll say last touch by Jensen. Now the officials are going to disagree on this one.
Yeah, they did disagree.
And our umpire, Mike Brady, will be overruled in this situation, as he was going to rule St. Cloud State basketball, but the referee, Mike Cadwell, said, no, I had a better view, and it was last touch by the Huskies. So the Bison have it still. Front court leading by 3. Pass to the top of the circle. Cody dumps it off left wing to Griffin. Now at the free throw line. It's bobbled but controlled on the dribble by Adams. Now to Cody, right wing. Dribbles to the line and dumps it off on the right wing side to the big center, Wayne Jensen. Jensen still has it on the wing. Goes to the dribble and throws it away into the backcourt. Over and back is called against the Bison.
There's one of the rare turnovers by the Bison.
Final scoring from the National Hockey Center. College hockey, St. Cloud State 1 and Minnesota Duluth 1. The Huskies and the Bulldogs skate to a 1-all overtime tie. We'll have details coming up with Greg Harrington as time permits. 17-10 left in our second half. The Huskies yet to score here in the second half, trailing by 3. Kramer has a free throw line. Poole shoots the 3. That's off the rim. Rebound is tapped out. Thurston shoots from the lane. That rolls down.
Once again, O2 gets the rebound. John remarked about that. He's very good as a rebounder.
So it took the Huskies 3 minutes to get points. They're back to within 1. 34-33, the Bison, and they throw it away. Griffin tried to lob it in underneath, but it was intercepted by Rudolph. Gets it ahead now for Thurston. Passes left. Kramer open. Shoots and hits. So Kramer hit that all-important 3 in the ballgame against South Dakota. He is now 4 of 10 on three-point attempts this year. It's not exactly his shot, but he nailed that one. Huskies on top, 36-34. Bison have it in the front court. Tony Adams signaling the offense to start. He's got it at the point. Spins down the lane, dumps it off to the baseline. Now back out. Griffin shoots and misses. No good. That was a 19-footer, and the glass was cleaned nicely by Kesty. Now to Thurston. He goes into the front court and is fouled. Strafing past him was Adams, who picked up the personal. First foul in the second half against either club is on Tony Adams, the senior guard. That's his first personal. So the Huskies, with the 2-point, 36-34 lead, will pass in from near midcourt. Kramer gets it in to Binky Poole. Now to Thurston, out beyond the top of the circle. Back to Poole. Dribbles to the left wing. Puts it up on the run and dunks it in.
That was a beautiful shot on the move. He got good elevation, put it off the glass for 2.
He was a good 12 to 14 feet away, too. That was a difficult shot, and Binky nailed it. He's got 4. 38-34 Huskies. They've scored 7 straight. Bounce pass in now. Trying to work it in as Jensen partially blocked. I think Kesty got a hand on it. But the loose ball is recovered by the Bison. Out on top again. Adams, bounce pass to the high post. It is lost by McKenzie. He could not control that bounce pass. Lost it out of bounds. Turnover, and the Huskies get it back. And now into the ballgame for NDSU comes Matt Nelson, the hot shooting forward. He'll replace Jensen. They're about the same size, but different kind of ball players. Jensen's a banger. He's simply a low post player, and Nelson can play a little bit inside, but also has that great 20-foot jump shot. Huskies come back the other way, leading by 4. This has been a bit of a seesaw ball game when it comes to the runs that the two teams have made. Lob pass in, intended for Kesty. Battling for it is Adams. It goes out of bounds and will stay with the Huskies. As Kramer tried to lob in from the right wing, Kesty could not control it. And now they're going to say North Dakota State basketball. As Kesty and Adams battled for that ball on the baseline, and apparently at last went off Greg. So the Bison get it back, and they'll bring it into the front court, now down by 4. 15-20 remaining. Adams out on top, patiently setting the offense now. Dribbling on the right side perimeter, gets it out. Between the circles to Griffin. Rifles it to Nelson now, he's on the right wing. Back out top to Adams, left wing side to Fody, penetrates, tries to put it up, knocked away by Kesty. Fody gets it back, and he's fouled by Kramer.
Yeah. Kesty had a good shot at him also, but Kramer fouled him first.
Huskies' first foul this half, first one of the night against Stu Kramer. Now Craig Kluge comes in. He played very briefly in the first half at the point for the Huskies because he picked up 2 fouls. He'll replace Thurston. Bart Iniger comes in for North Dakota State as his dad, Coach Irvinger, also makes a point guard substitution, and coming out of the ball game is Adams. At the free throw line is Fody. He scored 10 points in the first half to lead the Bison. The free throw is good.
Here's one young man you do not want on the line when the game's on the line. He is deadly from the free throw line.
Yeah, he really is.
He missed 2 free throws. 17 games into the season, he missed 2 free throws.
28 of 30 coming in here. 93%. He makes them both here.
That has to be a national ranking.
It is 38-36 now. St. Cloud State. Kluge front courts at the Poole. He's open on the right baseline. Penetrates. Banks it in.
Once again, a good basket off the offense.
Binky working off a weak side pick. Got wide open on the baseline. He's got 6. 40-36 Huskies. Iniger, front court. Gets it off. Left corner. Fody shoots and misses from 3-point range. But the long rebound run down nicely by McKenzie. Gets it back out to Iniger. Now to the point, Griffin left side to Fody, back out to Griffin, top of the key to Iniger on the right wing, into McKenzie, open for the block.
He beat Kesty on the baseline. Kesty had no weak side help. He beat Kesty and dunked it.
Fifth field goal for Ray McKenzie. He's got 10 points, 40-38 St. Cloud State as Kluge runs it ahead, working his dribble. To Poole, right wing to the baseline, Rudolph. Out to Kluge, now to Poole again on the right wing as the Bison have dropped back into the zone. It's a 2-3 look. Kluge has the top of the circle. Here's Kramer, back to Kluge at the key. Right side on the perimeter, Poole, now into Kesty. Might have gotten away with a walk, goes to the low block. Bounce pass through the lane on the left wing to Kramer. Back out behind him to Rudolph. Shoots from 18, that's no good. A battle for the rebound. Kramer tries to control it on the baseline, but he couldn't do so, and it goes to the Bison.
It's problem with Rudolph, shooting from the outside as we take away our best board man.
That's a good point. And Rudy shoots a lot of 17, 18-footers.
Yes, he does.
Going to weaken you on the offensive boards a bit. Bison down by 2 as they bring it ahead. Nelson has it way out on the right side. To the top of the circle plus to Griffin. Back to Nelson. Shoots the 3, right corner, short. And the long rebound is gathered in by Rudolph. Clears it off to Kluge, and the Huskies come back the other way. Number 20, Craig Kluge, the transfer guard, originally from Edina High School. Stops at the top of the circle, passes to his left to Kramer. Back to Kluge between the circles. Now to Poole, he's got it, bends at the waist, looks in, doesn't dribble, now finally does, and backs off, getting away from Fody. And passes back out top to Kluge. Huskies set the offense again. Kluge dumps it off on the baseline. Here's Kramer, pokes it up, hanging in midair, no good. Rebound, Kesky with the left hand, he follows, that comes out of there. No foul called, and the rebound by McKenzie.
They are indeed letting him play.
Into the front court, the Bison come. Pass into the lane, McKenzie fakes, then shoots. Partially blocked by Rudolph, but a foul called as Rudolph was ruled to have reached in, and Rudy almost got himself a technical as Mike Grady walked away from him and gave him a stare down.
Yeah, the reason Troy was objecting to the call was he thought he had a clean tie-up and he wanted a jump ball, and the Husky bench wanted a jump ball.
Now they're not going to call this one on Rudolph, but rather on Kesky.
Number 13, Tony Adams.
So that'll be the first foul on Greg Kesky. Huskies' second team foul. Kesky will come out, as will Kramer. Springer back in at that free spot, and then Harvey will come back in at center. And at the free throw line is Ray McKenzie, who has 10 points tonight. Free throw rolls out, no good.
Now Ray is a fine basketball player, but he's having trouble at the line. He's shooting 52% for the season.
And McKenzie's been incredibly consistent this year, except for the game against St. Cloud State earlier this year when he had no points and 1 rebound.
Yeah.
Second free throw is good, so he makes 1 of 2. 40-39 Huskies. In his last 5 ball games, McKenzie has had 15, 16, 15, 10, and 29 points. He's been very consistent scoring-wise, but that one game back on the 5th of January, he just had nothing. He was very flat against the Huskies. No points and a single rebound. Huskies now work at the pool. Shoots a 3 from the left corner, no good. Long rebound to NDSU. They've got a 4-on-1. Kluge, the only man back, and Kluge forces a turnover as he cut in between the ball and Hilly and forced Hilly to travel.
He upset Philly's concentration. He upset his timing. He traveled.
Boy, how can you ask any more of a guy who is 1 on 4, he being the 1? He forced the turnover, no doubt about it. The Huskies back the other way with Harvey. St. Cloud State with the ball and a 1-point lead. Back out on top. Here's Kluge. 12 minutes left to go in this one as Kluge and Springer playing catch on the perimeter now. Kluge lobs it left corner. Poole off a Rudolph pick. Wide open for the 3. No good. Rebound Harvey. Right block. Had it knocked away by Iniger. Gets it back.
There's a strength move by Harvey.
Held his body in midair for a full second. Got it off. 42-39 Huskies. Adams front court. Right wing. Reverse pivot on the wing. Gets it down low. Baseline jumper is good by McKenzie. Ray has 7 this half. 13 on the night. Huskies almost lose it in the backcourt. Their lead down to 1. Kluge gets it back. Breaks the full court pressure on the dribble as he brings it into the forecourt now. Kluge out on top. Dumps it off left side perimeter. Springer to Kluge. Back to Springer to Poole. Shoots another 3 and it comes out of there. Pinky's having a tough shooting now.
Yeah, he's missed 3 in a row from the corner.
Rebound gathered in by McKenzie. Gets it ahead for Adams, who will front court it on the dribble. On the right side to Hilly. Dribbles to the free throw line. Shoots and nails it. First field goal tonight for Hilly, and the Bison with 4 straight go back out on top. 43-42. Excellent basketball game. Poole shoots again from the corner. Glanced off the backboard.
You're right. He shot it from the corner. It just nicked the glass on the backboard and he banked it in. Once in a lifetime shot.
That was definitely not by design. That shows you the kind of night Pinky's having, but the guys who were with him there. A 3-pointer. 45-43 Huskies. Here's McKenzie on the baseline. Double team, whistle, and a blocking foul is going to be called on Rudolph as he and McKenzie are sitting flat on the floor, and they came down such that Ray ended up in Rudy's lap. Looked like those two were in a canoe or something.
Yeah. Well, Ray gets another chance from the line.
13 foul.
Rudolph's foul is his second. He will leave the game now as Carlson comes in. And McKenzie will be at the free throw line.
Now the Bison are allowing the Huskies to take 3-point shots against the zone, and the Huskies are not hitting them.
Ray McKenzie now at the stripe to shoot 2. Ray originally from Nassau in the Bahamas. Free throw is good. 14 points for McKenzie. He leads the Bison. As we mentioned, he started his collegiate career at St. John's in Collegeville, playing for Jim Smith, but then transferred to North Dakota State for the higher level of basketball, but also because he's an engineering major. And NDSU's engineering program, civil engineering, is well known to be accredited and very good. So he's getting a good education, and he makes his second free throw here. He's playing some good ball as well.
And now we got the zone press again, the 1-2-1-1 zone press.
our second tie of the night now at 45. Earlier we were tied at 13 all. Full court pressure almost coming up at the steal is Iniger, but the ball got to Springer, and the Huskies now bring it in the front court against 2-3 zone pressure for NDSU. Springer on the left wing, back out to Kluge. He one-hands the ball in the reception. To Carlson, back out to Poole, drives to the free throw line, brings it back out. Kluge, now to Springer, down the left baseline. Double team, tried to get it in the lane to Carlson, but the pass got away from him, recovered by Arsdorf, who's back in for the Bisons. So a turnover there for the Huskies. And in the front court comes Tony Adams. Backs into the free throw line on the dribble. Clears it back out to Nelson, back to Adams. He'll dribble along the half-wing line to the right wing side. To Nelson at the point. Iniger on the left wing. Adams, top of the key. Tony tries to get on the lane. Lost it, but it came right to Arsdorf at the high post. Back out to Adams. Pulling on the shot clock. Top of the key. Here's Iniger, the point guard. Actually, 2 point guards in there right now for Coach Irvin. His son Bart and Tony Adams. Adams has it out on top. 8 seconds on the shot clock. He's working the dribble. Now he'll shoot the three. And that's good. Not exactly how it looked like they wanted to set it up. Adams not exactly a great three-point shooter. 29%, but he nailed that one. He wasn't heavily covered, so he took it. 48-45 Bison. Carlson, front court for SCSU. The Huskies down by 3. Poole, right wing. Now to Kluge. He'll shoot from 22. Well behind the line. That was a pro three-pointer. And that's the first points tonight for Kluge on the 3. We're tied at 48. Lob pass in. Intended underneath for Wayne Jensen, but it was knocked away. Good team defense by the Huskies. They had 3, maybe 4 players around that ball on the lob in. And they come back the other way. Springer, left side perimeter. To Kluge. Takes the three-pointer at the King. Back up. The key, that is, back out to Springer, and then back to Kluge again. He's between the top of the key and the midcourt line. He'll start the offense. To Poole, right wing. Into Harvey in the corner. Back out to Binky. Now to Kluge. He's open again. Puts it up from 20. Kluge is telling them, if you don't pick me up, I'm going to shoot. That's a real challenge. Yeah, and the Bison are going to have to get out on him. He hits 2 straight three-pointers. 51-48 Huskies. 8:15 remaining. Bison have it. On the left wing side is Arsdorf. Back out to Iniger. Back to Arsdorf. Again on the wing. He's the big 6'9" center, but he's coming out of the perimeter. Now to Adams. Dribbles from the wing to the free throw line. Out to Iniger. Tries to pass it. It's Jensen. It's knocked away by Carlson. And the cover by SCSU. Good help by defense. Huskies with Harvey now. To Springer. Goes down the baseline. Lays it up and off. No good. That blocking foul is called on Jensen. So Springer's going to go to the line. That's the 3rd foul on Wayne Jensen. Only the 2nd foul is the team this half on NDSU. The Huskies have 3 fouls. Jensen, the first player to pick up 3 fouls. Teammate Matt Nelson has 2, and for the Huskies, 2 fouls apiece for Kluge, Harvey, and Rudolph. Out of the ballgame now for the Herd comes Nelson and Arsdorf. Back in for NDSU comes Griffin and Cody. For St. Cloud State, Thurston will come back into the ballgame. Poole gets a breather, and at the line now is Scott Springer. He's got 2 points so far tonight on a field goal. Free throw, yes. That makes it 52-48 Huskies with 7:51 on the clock. Second free throw by Scott Springer, the redshirt freshman. That's also good. He makes them both. 5-point Husky lead. They'll come out with some full court pressure. That 1-2-1-1 zone. Pass to Adams. He's still got it in the backcourt. To Griffin. Lobs it ahead and into the front court of the dribble. Now comes Fody, and the Huskies scramble back in defense. Griffin has it at the point now. The Huskies have dropped into a zone. That 3-2 that they like to use. Jerry, are the Huskies unique in using a 3-2 zone? I don't seem to see it much.
No, you don't see it much at all. It's almost always a man-to-man. This is very rare.
Huskies have it. The Bison rather. Huskies defending. Adams shoots a 3. Swish.
And that's 2 in a row for Adams. He's warming up.
53-51 St. Cloud State. Thurston now. Slowly dribbling into the front court as he ambles ahead, working against Adams. OT has it still way out on top. Now brings it to Kluge out near the timeline. He's even further towards midcourt. Kluge penetrates, jumps underneath. Carlson takes up and missed the layup. But the long rebound is tanked out. Springer has it. Takes a dribble, puts it up, banks it off. No good. How about even sure who got it to. Was it Carlson? No, Harvey. Harvey got it. Nice tap in. Huskies up 55-51. Cody pushes up a three-pointer. That's one. Rebounded Jensen. Passes cross court. And then back out. Adams! He was three in a row. The game of warming up, so well done. And we've still got 6.5 minutes left. The Huskies clinging to a 55-54 lead. Kluge, he penetrates, jacked it off, but as he passed, he was fouled.
When the Huskies play a 3-2 zone, Springer is the top man in that 3-2 zone. The reason for that is when the ball goes to the side of the court, Springer then fronts the post man. And the defensive post player plays behind, Springer fronts him. And that's why they play a 3-2. So they can double up on a post player.
Kramer comes in for Springer. Nelson replaces Griffin for the Bison. That foul was on Cody. His first foul of the night, 13 foul this half against the Bison. Baseline passing, left side for the Huskies. And a foul is called, an offensive foul, an illegal pick underneath. As the Huskies tried to set up that inbounds play, Carlson was called for his first foul.
Well, this hurts, John, because Carlson gets the foul, but worse than that, we lose the ball, we don't get a chance. The 2 points.
And the Huskies may lose their lead. They're up by one. 55-54, 6:20 remaining. Into the front court. Comes Tony Adams on his dribble. Goes to a baseline, but before he gets there, he is bumped by Thurston. OT's protesting, but there's no doubt about it. He really gave him a little shove.
Yeah, that was quite obvious. There's an old axiom in basketball. If you're going to foul, don't foul when your team has the ball.
Second foul on Thurston. Team foul number 5 against the Huskies. Pass in now for the Bison. They work it out on top again to Adams, who had only 2 points in the first half, but he's nailed 3 consecutive three-pointers this half, so he's got 11 on the night. He's just dribbling out on the left side perimeter. Looks in. Passes off to the top of the key to Foley. Back to Adams, left wing. Now into Jensen, low left post. Back out to the top of the circle, Nelson. Left wing pass comes to McKenzie. Back out Nelson. Now to Adams, 20 seconds with which to shoot for the Herd. Cody has it. Fakes right, goes left down the lane, puts it up in the air.
That's a nice snaky move by Cody.
Ended up shooting from about 12 feet up the lane. Cody has 14. The Bison are back out on top. 56-55. Kluge now between the circles on the Husky offense. To Kramer, into Carlson, low right post, bobbles it. Hill was battling for that ball, along with Jensen, who was on the seat of his pants trying to knock it away, and Jensen was the last guy to touch it as it went out of bounds.
And Carlson is tearing his hair out because he had an uncontested shot and he elected to dribble. He put the ball down, and of course they kicked it out of bounds, but the Huskies have a chance to redeem themselves.
Mark looks like he's a little bit frustrated as he comes out replaced by Rudolph. He's really been contested. His shot's underneath. Bison to play top. Here's a pass in. A nice bounce pass in from Thurston.
Kluge came from down the lane, all the way down the lane, and they didn't see him coming.
Kluge now has 8 points all this half. Huskies back out on top. 57-56, 5:05 left. As Adams pushes it ahead, works out the pick, goes down the lane, puts it up off balance, and nearly nailed the layup in heavy traffic, but a foul was called.
Adams is quick. So far, the Huskies just can't quite stop his penetration.
And the foul is on Rudolph, his third, so just as Rudolph comes back in, he picks up his third foul with 5:03 showing on the clock. Thurston comes to the sideline for a word with the coaches. And at the free throw line now will be Tony Adams. He's 0 of 2 from the stripe tonight. Free throw is good. Adams is the kind of guy you might want to foul late in the ball game. He's 73% of the year, but he doesn't have the best free throw shooting form. But he makes both of these, and that's all that counts, is that they go down. So Adams has 11 this half, 13 on the night, and the Herd regained the lead, 58-57 with 5 minutes left in regulation. Well, our hockey game tonight went to overtime. Who knows? Maybe we're headed the same way in basketball.
That could well be, John.
In case you missed it, St. Cloud State and Minnesota Duluth played to a 1-all overtime tie tonight in college hockey. Thurston has it at the point. Begins a penetrating move for the left wing and draws the foul on Adams. So Tony Adams picks up his second. Team foul is 6, St. Cloud State 4, North Dakota State. Baseline pass into the left of the St. Cloud State basket coming in by Ryan Thurston. Looks in. Still looking. and is finally able to get it out top to Kluge. Then tried to get it in the lane. Kluge's pass deflected. Finally came to Harvey, and as he went for the basket, he was fouled on Jensen. That'll be 4 on Wayne Jensen. First player to pick up a 4th foul. In fact, he was the only player prior to Rudolph's foul a moment ago who had 3 fouls. Rudolph now has 3, Jensen 4, Kluge leads, and Vinky Poole back in. And at the free throw line, St. Cloud State forward center Mark Harvey. Mark began his career back in 1986 at South Dakota State after being an all-stater at Wilmer High School. Ended up transferring to SCSU. Free throw by Harvey, off the back rim, no good.
Now, Mark is a good free throw shooter. He's shooting 76% for the year.
4 minutes, 38 seconds left. The Huskies will attempt to tie here on the second free throw by Harvey. It's up. And off the back rim, no good. Rebound go to Kramer. He's in the lane, fakes, then puts it up on balance. What was great about that shot as he put it over McKenzie. 10 points for Kramer. Huskies on top, 59-58. Is streaking into the front court as Adams brings it out to 40. Back to Adams. Shoots from 3-point range. It's good.
That's 4 in a row for Adams.
And he is not normally a very proficient nor active 3-point shooter, but he's hit the 4 trays this half, and the Bison have a 60-59 lead. 4:05 left. Harvey dribbling at the top of the key. He's fouled by Jensen, and that'll do it for Wayne Jensen. He'll foul out of the game.
And Harvey will go to the line once more. No, I stand corrected. He will not go to the line.
For Wayne Jensen, that's the second time this year that he has fouled out of a ball game. And he played a pretty key role, Jerry. Not necessarily scoring-wise. He had 5 first-half points, but he made some things happen.
He's a tough rebounder. He's a big, good, very aggressive.
Team foul 6 aside now. So for both clubs, the next foul on their opponent will put them into the bonus, assuming it's not a ball control offensive foul. Going to be a sideline passion here, but an official's timeout right now. Not Jensen, as the Bison finally bring out Jensen after he having fouled out. He's replaced by Mark Arsdorf. And it'll be a sideline passing for the Huskies. Kramer gets it in. 4th Thurston. OT passes back to Kramer. 4 minutes left. Rudolph has it high post to Harvey, right corner. Mark dribbles to the lane, puts it up on the run from 8, no good, and the rebound is controlled by Nelson for the Bison. So NDSU has the lead and the basketball. They're on top 60-59. Adams very slowly walks it in the front court and calls for a timeout. So Irv Renegades going to talk to his team about it. Butch Raymond will do likewise with the Huskies. 3:44 left, 60-59. North Dakota State stand by. We'll return in 1 minute. Two is 10 of 17, so both teams heating up here in the second half. Front court passing for NDSU off their timeout. Adams almost lost the ball as it was knocked away into the corner by Thurston, but Adams ran it down. Brings it back out on top to Tom Fody. Passes off. His pass intended for Nelson, knocked away by Kramer, but Fody gets it back. Huskies staying with the man-for-man defense. The Bison have the ball in a 1-point lead. Adams out at the point to Fody on the left wing side. Back out Tony Adams, top of the key plus. Dribbling slowly ahead to the top of the circle. Now dumps it off. Fody goes to the left baseline. Whistle, foul on Rudolph as he helped out in the defense, and that'll be 4 on Troy.
Troy did the right thing. He came over to help to cover the baseline drive, and he picked up for the foul.
And that foul is number 7 against the Huskies. The Bison from this point on out will shoot. 3 minutes, 15 seconds left. The Herd leading by 1. This St. Cloud State basketball broadcast is an exclusive sports feature of AM 1240 WJON St. Cloud. Free throw is good by Tom Fody. He has one more coming. 61-59 NDSU. 3:15 again is our time left in regulation. Second free throw. Yes.
It would be nice if Fody would even hit the rim, but he doesn't even do that.
He barely even ripples the net.
That's right.
Doesn't even break a sweat. I mean, let's do something down there, Fody. 62-59 Bison. Here come the Huskies. Harvey, top of the key. Passes off to Rudolph. Left side perimeter. Cross court. Kramer open. Shoots from 14. No! It comes out of there. Battle for the rebound. Fody clears it. Boy, Rudolph grabbed him in a bear hug and really picked up number 5. 2:50 left. The Bison have the ball, and they're going to call for another timeout. So NDSU in pretty good shape right now, leading by 3. 2:49 on the clock. Timeout on the court. You're listening to St. Cloud State for NDSU, and they were expected to contend for the title this year. They're doing just that, coming in with a 4-game win streak, a 5-3 conference record, and they hold the 3-point lead, 62-59 with 2:45 left. Pass in, NDSU. Here's Iniger, and the Bison Nigeria is spreading it out.
They're in their stall offense.
Iniger has it left baseline, goes down the line, bounce pass back out to Hilly. Out of 40 and out way near the timeline. Right in that midcourt circle, now to Adams.
It's a 3-2 alignment, 3 men out.
Adams has it, dribbles to the left wing, replacing Iniger on that side, dumps it off on the baseline to Hilly. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Adams puts it up on the run and shoots an air ball. Loose ball rebound out of bounds, goes to the Huskies. That might have been a break, guys. It was a battle for the rebound between Nelson and Kramer, and they ruled it Nelson last time.
No question, John. That could have been called either way. The Huskies got a break.
Iniger and Hilly will come out of the ball game. The ball handlers leave, and the defensive specialists, Arsdorf and McKenzie, back in. Huskies get it back with 2:10 left. They're trailing by 3. First it into the front court. Top of the circle. Passes out beyond the top of the key to Kramer. Out of Poole on the left wing side. Pinckney will penetrate into the lane. Puts it up. Partially blocked. No good by 40. Loose ball comes out near the top of the key, and it's recovered by Kramer. Passes out. Harvey open for the 3.
He was on the line to give him 2.
3-pointer. So the Huskies, instead of tying it now, are down by 1. It's 62-61 with a minute 47 left. They stopped play momentarily to bring the net down off the rim after that beautiful shot by Harvey.
Now, as Harvey stepped forward to take that shot, his 1 foot touched the line, and that negated the 3 points.
All right. Now, Thurston will come out for the Huskies. Kluge comes in. And for NDSU, Hilly and Iniger back in to help them run that stall offense. A minute 40 left. The Bison up by 1 as they bring it into the front court. From the person of Tony Adams on the dribble. Goes to the right side, back out to Iniger. Dribbles left. Now gets it to Fody. Goes to the free throw line and dribbles. To McKenzie in the corner, back out to Fody. Again, nothing really fancy about this. The Bison, as Jerry mentioned, are in a 3-2 alignment. 3 guards out on top. And then they're 2 forward types. In this case, Hilly and McKenzie down low. And they're just throwing it around on the perimeter, trying to work time off the clock. 10 seconds on the shot clock, a minute 10 on the big clock. Adams passes in. Here's McKenzie open for the top. That was the defensive line by the Huskies. He was wide open at low post, and all they have to do is lay it in. 17 for McKenzie. 1 minute left. The Huskies down by 3. Kluge, he'll shoot the 3-pointer. That's off the mark. No good. On the top of the key, rebound McKenzie. 50 seconds left. The Huskies may now have to foul. In the backcourt still with it is Fody under pressure to Adams. Knocks it off the pool and out of bounds. An intentional play by Adams as he went mid-air. And he really had nowhere to go with the ball, so he threw it off pool. 42 seconds left. Chris Raymond is out on the court protesting something. I'm not exactly sure what. I think he was protesting the shot clock, Joe. I think that kind of started immediately. Yeah. Now the timeout here is called by St. Cloud State. So we're going to take a timeout ourselves. The Huskies down on 6, assuming they wait until the last second to shoot it and don't make the shot. The Huskies will have 8 seconds left. Pass in. Now the Bison have it. And they have a 3-2. 40 pass is knocked away and intercepted by Tim Joe, who was just brought into the game. They brought him in for that very reason because of his quickness. Half a minute left and the Huskies call a timeout. It's set, and I'm not sure why. I don't know if the Huskies did not run the offense or if there was no offense left. The Huskies down by 3. Pass in front court to Poole. 45 seconds left. Dinky shovels it off to Thurston near the timeline. 20 seconds left. OT dribbles to the free throw line to Kramer on the right side perimeter. Gets it off for Poole. 15 seconds left. Dinky on the left wing. Dribbles inside 3. 10 seconds remaining. Kramer right wing to Thurston. Dribbles to the right side. Shoots it with 8. Partially blocked by Nelson. The loose ball recovered by Fody. And it's down on play. Fody is shooting up with the loose ball on the baseline and moved his feet. What a break for the Huskies. A break for the Huskies. With the ball Here they go. All right, 4 seconds left. Baseline left passing by Thurston. He's got Poole, Kramer, Kluge now back in, and Remy. OT looking in. Got to get the 3-pointer, and another timeout called as Thurston could not find anybody to pass in, so the Huskies take their 5th and final timeout, and all 5 of those timeouts are coming to the Huskies. We'll try once again. Keep in mind, they are now out of timeout. 4 seconds left. 64-61. NDSU. Thurston will throw it in. Looks to get it in underneath. Gets it to Kramer. He's got to bring it back out. 2 seconds left. OT shoots it. No good. And the Bison win. The Huskies played a pretty good ball game, and from a spectator's viewpoint, this was an intense, exciting basketball game to watch. But North Dakota State pulls it out at the end. The Bison beat the Huskies 64-61. That's NDSU's second straight win here at Hallenbeck Hall. They also won last year in overtime against the Huskies. That was a thriller as well, 70-66. So Irv Iniger's got to feel like this place isn't too bad to come to after all, as he wins a couple in a row, and the Bison win it, move to 6-3 in conference, 12-6 overall. The Huskies, meantime, dropped to 3-7 in the NCC. They're now at 500 overall, 10-10 on the season, suffering their 7th loss in their last 9 games. Jerry, came right down to the wire. It was just a matter of whether or not they could get that last second shot to go down, and that's been the story of the season many times for the Huskies.
It really has. They play so hard. They kill themselves on defense. They do such a tremendous job on defense. They come out shooting poorly in the first half many times, and they have to work to catch up, which they do, and then they lose in the last minute. And that's a heartbreaking thing for a team week after week to go through.
And maybe we should give a little bit more credit, not so much for the Huskies unable to make that play happen at the end, but to the Bison defense. We had the steal by Remy near midcourt with just over a half minute left, and the Huskies really, from that point out, even though they called 2 timeouts in that period, trying to set up baseline shots, they were unable to get a good uncontested three-point shot.
Well, when you were doing play-by-play here, John, I was thinking about that team defensively, and I was comparing them in my mind to other teams I've seen here, especially in the North Central Conference. I think North Dakota is the best defensive team I've seen here at Hallenbeck this year. They are very, very good. In fact, many times they just completely bogged the Huskies' offense down, and the Huskies couldn't run what they wanted to run. And, of course, they play each other so much in this league, John, that you're well scouted. They kind of know what you're going to do before you do it.
Well, the Huskies went up to Fargo and beat the Bison by a score of 64-61 on January the 5th to open the NCC season. That victory for St. Cloud State ended North Dakota State's 27-game home court winning streak, a streak that began after the Bison had played St. Cloud State and lost on their home court 2 years ago. So the Huskies win 64-61 in Fargo to open the NCC season, and the Bison opened the second half of the NCC campaign by winning here at St. Cloud State by that same score, 64-61. We'll check the score in this ball game in 1 minute. Incomplete game at halftime, 31-30. It's kind of interesting to note that that is the 4th straight game that St. Cloud State has held a halftime lead. And since the Huskies began competition this year against North Central Conference teams back in the NCC tournament in late December, they have held halftime leads. In other words, been ahead halfway through the game 9 of the 13 games now that they have played. They scored the last 8 points in the first half of this one to go up by 1, 31-30, but again, they lose it by 3, 64-61. Checking the scoring now, St. Cloud State had just 1 player in double figures in this ball game. The Huskies' Stuart Kramer had 10 points on the evening to lead St. Cloud State in scoring. Kramer getting 10 points, 5 each half for Stu Kramer. And for him, that's the first time in his collegiate career that he has led this St. Cloud State team in scoring. 10 points for Kramer. Very balanced scoring, but a lack of it for the Huskies, who had just 61 points on the night. Mark Harvey had 9 points. 9 also for Binky Poole, who scored 7 of his 9 in the second half. 8 points for Craig Kluge, all of his scoring coming in the second half. 6 each for Troy Rudolph and Orion Thurston. 4 points tonight for Husky center Greg Kesty. 3 points on the night logged by Mark Carlson. and then 2 points each for Scott Springer and Tim Remy. All of the Huskies who played scored in this ball game. For North Dakota State, their leading scorer tonight was forward Ray McKenzie. As we mentioned, he did not score in the first game between these two that was held last year, or this season rather, earlier this year in the NCC opener. McKenzie, no points and 1 rebound, but he ended with 17 tonight, played a good floor game for the Bison. 16 points each for the starting guards Tom Fody and Tony Adams, and what a second half Adams had as he led the show for Irv Vinegar and the Bison, and he also nailed 4 3-pointers and scored 14 of his 16 points in the second 20 minutes of play. Those were the 3 in double figures for NDSU. Then Wade Jensen, the backup center, the only player to fall out of this ballgame. He had 5 points before departing, 3 points for Matt Nelson, and 2 each for Jeff Griffin, Mark Arsdorf, Mike Hilly, and Bart Iniger. Final again, 64-61. Jerry, how do those unofficial stats look?
Unofficially, we have North Dakota State shooting 42.9 from the field. The Huskies shot 43% for the field. So both teams not shooting real well for the field. That's about the average for the Huskies. The Bison are down a few percent, but that's about what they shoot, 42 and 43%. Free throw line for North Dakota, 71%. For the Huskies, 67%. Turnovers, the Huskies had 14 and the Bison had 11. Rebounding, relatively even for North Dakota State, 31, and for the Huskies, 35. Statistically, it's almost a carbon copy, John. There's not much difference between these two ball clubs.
And that's exactly the way the game went. It got down to the wire. It was a matter of which team could make it happen at the end, and the Bison did, and they win it by 3, 64-61. We'll have some final thoughts, and we'll check the scoreboard right after this.